Hi guys, I hope you're having a really nice Easter. So today we're going to talk about how to draw a teacup, and it's less of a tutorial from me and more of a joining in with Liz Steele on a 2-week challenge that she's done, like a 2-week sketch challenge, which is to sketch the same thing every day for 2 weeks. So I chose my morning orange juice, and since she had a free teacup tutorial, like a free page printable on the teacups, I thought it'd be really nice to just incorporate that and do the 2-week sketch about that. So I'm kind of bringing you along on the journey. It's not really a tutorial, it's more like just me kind of showing you what I'm doing. So I'm not very good with the teacups, and that's why I am kind of using this time to work on that. So if you look at her Instagram or her blog, she does a lot of teacups, and here's the printable. So she shows you the finished teacup, she shows you all the sort of parts of the cup and the saucer, and how to do the ellipse and how to do the circle. It's sort of in the middle of the the liquid part of the cup, which she generally starts with, and then the rim and the cup and then the saucer to finish it off. I'm pretty sure that's kind of the way she does it, and that's the way that I've been doing it. So I just pulled out this old sketchbook, and let's see, it's a Jane Davenport sketchbook from Michael's, and I'm just kind of going through here. I love pulling out old sketchbooks and kind of seeing different color palettes and things that I was using at the time. So there's my Rivervale, which I still use and really love, and then you can mix those with glitter colors. Here is I was going to do a perpetual calendar, and so every year add to these months, but I haven't ended up doing that. But I really loved this time, so I was doing this every month. It was just really easy, and if I had time and when I had time, one watercolor sketch for the month, so I didn't put a lot of pressure on myself. But you can see here, this is February, and I drew a teacup and a plate to kind of match that, and I pretty much just took inspiration from the Royal Doulton cups that we have, and then just kind of created my own thing there. So I used a lot of, I actually used Daniel Smith Amethyst, and I think Winsor & Newton Cobalt Violet and Opera Rose for that. So then we just keep going along. There's April, and I think this might have been 2018 actually. And you can see, like, I was thinking about Easter and doing some eggs there and trying to get the shading right and building up layers. And then here is a little color swatch palette, so making some sort of peaches from pinks and browns. And then this is, I do have a tutorial on this. These are pretty easy and pretty beautiful to create, so I've got this tutorial on my other channel if you want to check that out if you haven't. And I think this is sort of where I finished off. I was trying to figure out the lighter color scheme there, but this is the other teacup that I did in this book. So I used Moonglow, and I think just Moonglow and Opera Rose by Daniel Smith. So I really like the color palette though there of this one, and that is also with the Champagne Gold from Rivervale, so it's a lighter gold to kind of match in with the muted color scheme. So I really like that. So I'm just kind of going back through, showing you some inspiration, looking for inspiration myself. And what I enjoy about doing these teacups is that you are kind of learning about shapes, you're learning about shadows, and then you can play around with a lot of different color studies as well. So you can try different things in just a small quick sketch and see how you like the colors there. And so again, I have some floral sort of tutorials on my other channel, and these are really good just to help you figure out if you want to put like some florals on the teacups or the plates and things like that as well. So you've got kind of a little repertoire of shapes and ideas to use in that respect. And then here again, I love this colour. So that's Fuchsite Daniel Smith and Brilliant Purple by Schminker, and look at the range of colours just 2 colours can give you, and you can use any green and pink or purple to mix and you'll get that really beautiful colour scheme, so you don't have to use, you know, the exact ones. And then here are my Rivervale colours. I really love these colours, and so I'm thinking about as well, can I incorporate the ruby red in, or you know, how I can use those. Okay, so we are back to the book, and I've already started these swatches, and so you can see, sorry, the sketches, and you can see here how the two sort of differ there, and even the size. I'm doing these quite a bit smaller. So I'm going to use my travel palette, which I have a video on, and I've kind of showed you some of those colours there. And then this is a Handmade Paints sort of specialty colour palette as well, which I'm going to swatch for you pretty soon. It's got mostly Rivervale and Nibs Pens and Inks colours in it, and some Schminker limited edition golds. Okay, so I'm just showing you here the page layout. So I'm thinking of doing a long sort of piece of cutlery, and I end up doing a knife there and 2 teacups and there, and so I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 across the double page spread with a piece of cutlery. And I was thinking of and then possibly using Liz Steele's idea of how she draws the palette, and drawing a little palette there to show the colours I'm using. So I am inspired by the colour chart that I kind of painted down the side, but I end up not using those exact colours for the teacups on the page. And so I was thinking of doing just 2 weeks of sort of tableware and doing different like plates, ornate, like the old vintage knives and forks with the really ornate handles. But I think I'll just kind of stick to teacups and then do a little bit of, you know, a few extra things if I have time. So here is my morning orange juice. I don't usually have it in something so fancy, but I just thought, you know, for this sort of thing, it would be nice to have that here. And then you can also pause the video and you can sketch that as well if you like. So a little bit of the way through this, I get too nervous to do it on camera and I kind of stop, and then I do kind of do more of a cup a little bit later on in the video, but this is just kind of the start of one. And so you can see I'm like mixing some orange for the middle, you know, for the middle of the cup there, and then it will go from there. Okay, so I think I'm going to probably stop doing this this sketch in a minute. So I'm kind of looking through the camera to paint this, and then I am holding the camera one-handed and I'm painting, and it's an unfamiliar kind of thing to me, so I am pretty nervous, even though, you know, I don't have to put it all on. I just get really nervous, and I find it hard to kind of worry if I'm taking too long. And then so I just decided to stop filming and to just work on the painting and then come back. And so you can see there, that's my kind of representation of it. I added some gold around the edges there, like the gilding that they do on the edges of the plates. It's actually interesting even watching this back and doing the voiceover and seeing the shape of the cup sort of flaring out a little bit more at the top, and so that's something else I can work on. And then here I'm just going to do the cup from an aerial view. Sorry, we've got Easter crafts going on in the background if you can hear, but we have, so I'm going to do I did an aerial view of the same cup there, and then I go on to start another one. So I tried to do this next one, I'm not sure if I even show it yet, but I tried to do a sort of mint green one on camera to actually, I love the little bit of gold that I just, one little tiny bit of gold there on that cup, but I tried to do this top mint green one on camera to kind of show you and to match that plate, and again I just got too nervous and it just all got a bit dark and heavy, so yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that, and that's why I just sometimes turn the camera off and do it, because like I said, I'm still learning, and so yeah, I just kind of, need that space to kind of think, I guess. And what I'm just really trying to say is that I am sorry that I haven't done sort of a full cup on camera, but hopefully the next video, I'll try and do a couple of updates of this over the 2 weeks that I'm doing it, and so hopefully in one of the videos I'll be able to just do maybe a time lapse and just do a full cup from start to finish that's actually quite nice, and I'm happy with the end result there. So okay, so I'm looking for a bit of a page and a space here that I can continue on for my next teacup. So I want to use this book mainly for our colour spotlight, so I have a lot of pages reserved for that, but I'm just up the back here doing other tutorials like the 12 colour palette that we did, and you can see here I've got a couple of pages reserved for another video that I want to do, painting flowers with Helen Deltry, and then the staying at home with Amy Rose Gedden, the Stay at Home Art Club. So I will bring you a video about my journey of each of those as well, but now we're back to this teacup, so I will just kind of let you watch this, and I get most of the way through the cup. Sort of towards the end there I get a bit worried that it's getting a bit muddy, and then I turn the camera off and just add some finishing touches and some gold edging and stuff. So anyway, yeah. Okay, so I'm pretty sure this is where I stop. I felt like it was a little bit heavy and a little bit muddy with the Shadow Violet, and I also wasn't kind of sure about the purples and the blues, but once I put the gold, it sort of brought it all together, and it's quite nice actually. It looks a little bit darker than it is on the page actually here, but it came out quite nice. I also added some French ochre sort of spots into the paint there to let that just kind of mix, you know, on the page with the other colours. So I like how that turned out, and I really do like sort of the bits of gold and everything, how it's a little bit more of a moody piece in the end. Anyway, that is pretty much all for today. This is our finished, so I think I have maybe 6 finished ones that I've done, or I guess 7 with the extra one with the 2.1, and then I've got the 2 plates and the knife as well. So there's quite a fair bit that I've done there in a few days. I think I'm on like day 4 today, so I haven't done anything yet today, but I really like just designing them. And so I do encourage you, like, if you want to come along on this journey, you can sketch teacups with me, or just sketch something else in the 2-week challenge with Liz Steele. So I believe she has a hashtag for that on there as well. And I will see you guys soon with another video. Have a nice weekend, have a good Easter, and I will see you soon. Bye.